computer. So Nicole, you can't talk about going to the bathroom anymore.
I won't.
I'm just kidding. I'm already recording. Aha! All right. Share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Oh, goodness. I'm really winning tonight.
I can now.
You can?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm probably going to just like briefly go talk about these slides a little, but I just want to get to the good stuff. And so basically my team name is Strong is the New Skinny, but I am part of a bigger group called Faithfully Fit. And I just wanted to start off by saying that coaching has like a lot of different levels. So I've said to a few people tonight, like, hop on if you want to be, if you're just want to be a discount coach, hop on if you want to be a selling coach, hop on if you need a side job. And they're all like, what? This is so different. Why is this all under the same umbrella? So when I say what is coaching, it's like, it's a million different things. And Nicole can vouch for that, but it sort of is what you make of it. So we'll go from there. So what we will cover today, did someone else just pop on?
Lauren.
Yay, Lauren! Look at her face. Hi. She must be on mute. It's okay if you're on mute. You look so terrified. I'm just going to keep going, but you can just listen. Look at her face. I don't think she sees that we see her. Okay, so what we'll cover today. So who am I and how I got into coaching? You guys know who I am. I actually was on a tag sale site and bought a baby swing for my baby from my now coach, and I showed up at her house to get the swing, and she came out of the garage, and I was like, oh my gosh, she has the best arms ever, was my first thought. And then she's like grabbing stuff, and she's like, oh, here, let's, keep in touch. I'll friend you on Facebook if you ever need more baby stuff. And I was like, I would just want to know what you do working out wise. So like I went home, I friended her, I was stalking her. I was like, this girl has so much energy. And we became friendly on social media, but it was like years of me following her, just thinking like, wow, she's cool. And I like stalked her blog and everything. And she kept asking me to coach, and she would email me and say, I know you like to work out and keep asking me about what I'm doing, and do you want to know more? And I was like, no. I just finished getting my sixth year, and I had a baby and I had a full-time job, and I was like, no, this is like when life gets hard. I have no extra time to spend with you. So I seriously said no to her for, I would say, a year. And then even when she finally asked me to join one of her challenge groups, I was like that annoying girl that was like, that's really expensive. The one that I like can't stand now. I was like, that's too much. And then I was like, I'll do it, but I don't want to drink Shakeology. I don't need a shake. I don't like shakes. So I did her group, and I got results, but I didn't get great results because I wasn't fully invested and I wasn't drinking Shakeology. And then she pretty much said to me, drink Shakeology for 3 weeks, and if you don't like it, I'll buy it back from you. That's pretty much what she said to me, like, you're going to like it. And I never turned back. So, but it still was a very slow process for me coaching, because I had all of these fears and just didn't really think of myself as someone like her who was just always sharing and, sort of like on social media, posting a lot. And so that's her. Her name is Tracy. And so I finally said yes in December 2014. And I said to her, yes, but I'm going on vacation. I'm going to the Caribbean in like 5 days, and I'll do this when I get back. Those were my words. So I posted a picture, and I was like, da, 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 like I'm a Beachbody coach. Well, actually, I didn't say Beachbody. I said, like, I've been working out, and I had really great results. And I was like, I really want people to do this with me. And I had 22 people email me that first week and say, I'm in. Tell me what to do. I'm in. And I was like, what's going on? I was in the middle of the Caribbean messaging people back. I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was like, yeah, 21 Day Fix. That's the only program I knew and was familiar with. And everyone was just like, yes. Meanwhile, I'm like getting these checks, and I'm like, wait, I can't even believe this is how this works. Like this is, but I really felt very nervous for what I was about to do. So I started running my own challenge groups right away, just because that's what I'd done. I followed sort of Tracy's lead and thought, I can do this on myself. And I did that for 2 years. And that was a lot, doing them on my own. And now I'm back to that, but we can talk about that later. But really what it made me realize was that, I I was putting my son into daycare just at that month, and it was going to be, I think it's $1,600 a month. And Ryan and I were like, what's the point of us working? Like, we're two teachers, like maybe I should just not work. And then I started getting these checks and I was like, okay, this is like my daycare fund. This is what and he was like, well, I think that's really great of you to think, but I don't think you're gonna be able to pay for daycare. And I did for like a year. So that was just such a good feeling. And then every added expense that we had was like, oh, well, let's go on this trip because I've got Beachbody. It was like my money. Like, even though we have combined bank accounts, my Beachbody money was like my fun money. Like, I could go buy shoes and say, it's my Beachbody money. So why I said no and no again, I didn't have time. I had a job. I wasn't in perfect shape. I'm still not in perfect shape. I hate the name Beachbody. I think it's terrible. I try not to say it. When I do say it, I have people my mom's age that are like, oh, no, honey, like, thanks for thinking of me, but I'll never have a Beachbody. And I'm like, why did they call it that? Right, Nicole? It's just like, it makes it seem like cheesy and like we're all just walking around skinny on a beach. And this company really promotes like health and fitness fully. And especially with the nutrition plan, I just don't like that. So anyway, I just kept thinking like my transformation wasn't over. And I've had a lot of people say that to me. I want to wait until I'm at a perfect weight or perfect shape. But what I've realized is people don't really relate to people that are like that. So it's helpful that I, have the same struggles of anyone else. I thought I didn't know enough about nutrition. I've learned a lot in doing this. But that was definitely a big fear of mine. And that I didn't want to be salesy. I'm not salesy. I've never had a sales job. I think it's like yucky. It makes me feel yucky. When I start to feel like that, I pull away. But I realized that I didn't have to feel salesy. And then just that I had just finished a second master's, didn't want more work. So when I said yes, I slowly started to share. And that was what I just kept focusing on. If I just share, I don't have to do this big thing on social media. We actually have a coach on our team who has not used social media at all. She can't because of her job. And she is consistent every single month with signing up challengers. But it was like I would be somewhere, like the gym, the library, I would run into someone. I'm a teacher at work, cousins, family members, uncles. And they would say, what are you doing? You look so happy. Like you look so psyched. And it was like, oh, I've been doing this challenge group. And it was like, it just kept going and going and going. And every month when I would think it would slow down, it didn't. Not that there weren't harder months where like the middle of August, everyone's like, oh, I'll start in September or December. You have to think, okay, who can I include here? But it was like my own pace. If I wanted to go on vacation, I didn't have to work. If I wanted to just pull away for a little bit, I would. My coach probably doesn't want to hear me say that, but it's true. It was what you make of it. And then I started to have like really crazy successful challengers. My uncle, who was going to Overeaters Anonymous, wrote me this email saying that he'd lost like almost 80 pounds. I had two girls have major transformations, another girl lose close to 100 pounds. And it was kind of like overwhelming because they were doing all the work, but I was just sitting on the sidelines so excited for them. And then to have them write me these emails and letters, I was like, this is the best job in the world. So just a little thing about my lifestyle now. I feel much better. I feel more joyful. I love helping people. And I really found that the team Faithfully Fit, which is Tracy's team, they're all like me. Like it was so easy to fall in love with them. And it's so funny, like who ends up doing it. Like Nicole, who is like one of my best friends now, she was a friend of a friend who joined a challenge group, and her and I started talking, and she was like, I think I want to coach. And I could tell you where I was standing in my kitchen when she was like, I think I want to coach. And I was like, oh my God, let's pop bottles of champagne. And like, here I am in Connecticut and she's in San Diego. We were like virtual best friends. We'd never met. And then we met at a retreat in Stanford, and it was like, we were like related. It's separated at birth. It's just amazing who it connects you with. And everyone has that like-minded feeling, and we talk about like, I had a girl say to me recently, I want to join one of your challenge groups, but like, if it's too positive, I'll kill myself. And I was like, okay, like I know I look like really happy and stuff, but like I have terrible days too. I emotionally eat also. Like so I think there's those like connections you make that because it's so real. Like, you know, I know that how Nicole eats when she's stressed. Like, you know, I know like her outlets and what she needs to perform at the best of her ability. And that's really it, is like recognizing in yourself what you need and then like encouraging other people to do that. And that's like, it's that part of it is just so easy. This just says, what is a CTA? So that's called a call to action. So that's just like what we call sort of like when I put up a picture and I'm like, who wants to join my group? I've had a lot of people say, I don't want to post on social media. What if I'm annoying? I totally get that. Like every time I post, I'm like, is this annoying? I understand that more than anyone. So you don't have to do that. I mean, I'm telling you, the first 6 months I did it, it was all coworkers, all friends and family. You can email, you can just share your story, but you can do it however you want to do it. And then just like finding what your why is. And for me, that was, you know, I didn't want to feel like I was working for nothing. And I was working so hard at work, and I'm a special education teacher. I had so much paperwork and so emotionally invested that I needed to come home and have some outlet of like just me time where like I don't answer my phone. I'm not writing an IEP or like thinking about a meeting the next day. Like it was solely my time. And for so long that felt selfish to me. And then I was like, there's nothing selfish about this. This is what's giving me the energy to go back tomorrow and like start again. So my why was kind of like that, and definitely my family, and just, you know, encouraging others. So this is a little bit about professional development. So Beachbody as a company really promotes professional development, whether that's, it's one of like we have these 4 vital behaviors and that's one of them. But whether it's like a book on tape or just a book or any sort of thing where you're bettering yourself, like a miracle morning where you wake up and you have 10 minutes of sort of like you time before your workout. And I love that about it, because I always say to my coach, I was always reading self-help books before Beachbody. And that's essentially like what they're like betterment books, but it's like, you know, how to do this better, how to be more productive here. So although, yes, it applies to my Beachbody world, it's applied to like every part of my world, my relationships, my mornings, my productivity and getting things done, time management. So that's awesome. It's also made me feel uncomfortable in ways I never thought possible. Like I go live now and my husband's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I know, I hate it. Like I hate it. You feel very exposed, but you know what? I think it's important to be vulnerable, and it's like how you connect with people and let them know that you're totally real. And it's made a lot of my relationships a lot stronger, because a lot of people that I do have, like I know Lauren, we talk all the time about food. She'll text me and be like, can I eat this? Can I do this? You know, and so happier and more productive and definitely more efficient than I used to be. This is just a little bit about the team, Faithfully Fit. So there's about 500 coaches, and I want to make sure I get this stat right, so they're an elite team. And that was pretty cool. I didn't know joining this team that they were elite. I think, 89th in the company, which is pretty outstanding. And then my coach, Tracy, is just phenomenal. Like she goes to all the leadership conferences. She's like a million-star diamond. Like she like sat up there in the front row at Summit with like all the Beachbody celebrities. So it's like really cool to be on a team of such successful coaches. And then the team above them is called Shred Nation, and they're a husband-wife team, and they're $1 million production team. So that's pretty cool, because we're exposed to a lot of good training because of that. We have a yearly training every year. It's called Summit, and it's in different places. Last year it was in New Orleans, and it was so much fun. And it's always in cool places, but you get a lot of training there. And then there's also a retreat for what's called Diamond. There's different ranks of coaches, but Nicole came last year. We were in Connecticut. This picture is us at a salon. We got our hair blown out. We had a photo shoot. We met at the library. We did work. We went out. It was so much fun. But my coach really thinks very hard about the types of training she does, and I could go on and on about that, but we had one training, I know Carolyn, we messaged after that one this year that was pretty amazing. So as a team, Faithfully Fit provides biweekly training calls. They're always recorded, so if you can't make them, that's fine. And this is all optional. So like I missed the call Monday. It's okay. I might listen to it on record. I might not. There's nothing that's like, when people say, well, what's required? There's nothing that's required. You can sign up as a coach and do absolutely nothing. So it's completely what you make of it. I'm not taking attendance. No one cares because everyone's doing it on their own. No one's reporting to one another, sort of. We have a Facebook group for the team, which is where I pretty much learn everything, any new information that comes out or sales or anything. Trainings, they did like an Instagram story training on Monday. And then we all use this thing called Voxer, which is like walkie-talkie. So that's really fun. Beachbody, the company, is pretty awesome too. I was really skeptical, to be completely honest, of Beachbody because I was like, I don't know about these, like I was approached to do Rodan and Fields before this. And I was like, all these like scheme, like sketchy, like I don't understand the money, but Carl Deichler's an awesome guy, and John, this other guy, they're like funny. They're friendly. When Nicole and I go to the trainings, we laugh at them. They're like up on stage dancing. And Beachbody was around for a while, and then Team Beachbody came out 10 years ago, and that was when they decided that if they were going to sell a workout program and a nutrition program, that they needed a coach to go with it. So when you start hitting certain statuses with Beachbody, they'll give you free leads. So like, if Sue watches the info commercial for PiYo, she automatically gets a coach. So if you start making certain, like, start signing on a few people a month, you get those free leads. So you'll have like Sue from Georgia in your group. But I think that's the best part about it, is that there is the nutrition and the workout piece, and that the nutrition is such a big part of it. But the company gives a lot back, and they do a lot of awesome things. Like Summit is run by Beachbody itself, whereas the Diamond Retreat is run by my coach. This is a picture of us all at Tracy's house 2 years ago on the Diamond Retreat. And just, again, talks about friendships and travel, transformations. We have some really funny people on our team too. And then this is just a what coaches are. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
And what coaches are not. So,
Sorry.
no, I love it. Don't get the boys on the call though, because then I'll really start talking. So basically, this is just, again, like another reminder that like we're not perfect. We're not at goal weights. Some of like the most successful Beachbody coaches I actually look at and I'm like, what? Like they're like 250 pounds. They've struggled with weight their whole entire lives, but they're trying to help people and they've had transformations, whether they're physical or, more mental, or they're still on their journey. And I think if you join when you're taking people on that journey, I've seen more success with people than I had a girl from college with perfect six-pack abs who was born that way and was like, I'm a Beachbody coach. And no one wanted to join her groups because it was like, yeah, we all know you were born that way too. So, I mean, people just want realness. So the coaching options. So basically when I say discount coach and coach, it's all the same thing. So, and it's not an expensive buy-in at all. It's the $39 that you spend to become a coach, which is reimbursed if you buy a challenge pack. And then there's a $16 a month coaching fee. So that's it. So you've all bought challenge packs. So it would be $16 a month. And obviously you make that in return. So, and I have people that have said to me, I really just want to pay for my Shakeology. And I'm like, that's fine. And then I have people that say, I've got a monthly goal of $500, $1,000, whatever it may be. But, and again, it's totally up to them. I'm not looking and seeing what they make. I can't, I have no idea, so it's sort of like we're all on this big team, but everybody's doing their own thing. And there's just, different moving parts. And then you have the business builders, which is like, my coach does this full time. She has 4 kids and her goal is for her husband to quit his job on Wall Street. And she's getting there. She just bought a boat. Like, so and that's not to say she does not work hard. She works her ass off. So there's that level. And then there's other people we have who've had corporate jobs who have quit. And then there's sort of more like hobby coaches, I would call. And then the discount coach. So the discount coach doesn't sell at all. They just want a discount because they love Beachbody products. So you get 25% off when you're a coach of everything. So if you're ordering Energize or, Shakeology, anything you would get. So A lot of people just want the discount, and that's totally fine. A day in the life. So these are just the 4 vital behaviors, and essentially be a product of the product is just like exactly what we're doing here. We're always following some kind of Beachbody programs. And once people start to like waver with that, my coach will say, okay, let me know what you're doing. And it's good, because then we all like did Insanity Max 30 together. We all were posting about our results. We were like in this Vox chain talking about like Energize and different things. So it's fun because you're constantly motivated, and you know that if you're not working out, you have like 30 people that are like, Megan, where are you? And then just inviting, so just asking people to join you, the personal development, and then just recognition. So that's just on all fronts. We do that a lot in the challenge groups, where we'll just say like, you know, kudos to this person for doing that, or, you know, Nicole has been such an awesome coach, and she was like, I'm going to be in bed at 9 o'clock, but I'll be there. So just recognizing that. And then the hours spent, that's a big question I get a lot. Again, it really depends. And I've had months, like the month I had Andrew, I was like, no, I don't feel right. I just had a C-section. No, I'm not doing this. And I didn't look at it. Like, I kept in touch with my challengers that I had, but I didn't send an invite, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready to do this. And as I got my groove back, all my other people did too. So it's like, that's really the best part, is like watching that intensity build and sort of working off each other, because that's really how it works. And then just knowing that like I will match anyone's pace. If someone says, I just want to be a discount coach, I'm going to think about it for 3 months and then do it. I want to do this, you know, you can do it. And the best part is right now I'm running that challenge group all by myself. So anyone who wants to start coaching and does get a few people can just put your people in that group. The best part is right now. I think I'm hearing my echo. Okay, I was like, who is that? And you guys know what we do in challenge groups because you're in them. So the average compensation, it's really hard to answer. Again, I've had months where I do really well, and those are obvious times of the year. I would say right before January and that's the best time because Christmas. But like everybody crawls out of the woodwork right before January. Then you get a big surge right before the spring, another one at the end of the summer, right before school starts. So, you know, and the best part is you're the one that keeps going, and they're the one that's like, help, I've been 3 months doing nothing. So it's like, okay, you're staying so consistent. A couple other things I wanted to tell you. The other thing I've noticed about doing this is that, and I have this conversation with my husband a lot about our phones and like being on social media and being hyper connected and feeling like you have to get back to challengers and stuff. And I've really realized that it's made me more present with my family, which sounds so weird. And that took a little bit of getting used to, but I check in the morning, I go on the challenge group and I do the post. If you've noticed, I don't get back to anyone in those challenge groups until the nighttime because I can't go on every hour and comment and respond. When I'm with my kids and when I'm with Ryan, I want to be fully there, and I will leave my phone on a shelf just because I think it's really important. It's really easy to get sucked into that social media, have to respond now, have to be needed. But no, you decide. And what else? I wrote a couple other things. Really, the financial support that you get from Beachbody, I feel like is the icing on the cake. And it's funny because I used to just have direct deposit on this. And Ryan doesn't know like how to even log into our Wells Fargo account. So I'd be like, oh, I had a really good week with Beachbody. And then finally I was like, I'm getting my checks mailed to me. So he sees them. So now he's like, oh, good job. And I'm like, oh yeah, I make money from doing this, which is even cooler. And the other thing that's really neat is watching people watch you. So like over the course of a few years, when I first started, I only reached out to people that I felt really comfortable with, like knew would enjoy being in a group. And now it's like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask this person that I haven't talked to in a really long time. And they say yes. And it's so cool. And then you develop these relationships. So it's pretty awesome. And I would say once you have a team, your team builds, you get team volume. So there's different ways also besides commission, how you make money. Basically, coaches get volume off of each other, and that leads to something called a team cycle bonus, which I won't confuse you with tonight. But essentially, if you have a team, you're making more money, and then that's a compound effect as well. So I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to keep you guys on here too long. That's from the Diamond Retreat. This is my boyfriend, Sagi, who teaches hammer and chisel, and that's in New Orleans. And that's really it. So you guys don't have to decide or do anything tonight, but again, like there's different levels, and it could be bringing on one person a month, it could be bringing on a few, and it could just be getting that discount. But if you have any specific questions, let me know. When I sat down to do this PowerPoint, I'm like, there's so much I want to say, and there's so much that sounds really like when they say we go on these trips and we're all like best friends, like we really are, and it's not. And the other thing is, I am one of those people that like, I sometimes don't want a new friend because I feel like my friend cup is full, if that makes sense. Like I've stayed in such good touch with the people that I grew up with, and I have such close friends that I tend to meet new people and I'm like, okay, no, this is too much. But it's like, we're just all so similar, and we get together and it's so much fun. And it's like the memories we made in New Orleans were just, I'm like, how is this working? So it's pretty exciting. And Nicole, I don't know if you want to add anything. Nicole Nicole said yes. She's been by my side through all of this. She's like, and I've had coaches come and I've had coaches go, and I've had some that come and go really hard for a while, and then they go quiet. But I have to say, Nicole's consistency, just being like, I'm here, I'm in this group, what are we doing for this month? What workout program are you following? I'm texting you at 5 a.m. to see if you're awake. She's like a sister, a best friend, and all the rest. So thank you so much for being here, Nicole. And if you have anything that I've totally forgotten, jump right in.
No, I just, I laugh because Christine, I've never met Christine.
I know, I can't believe she's not a girl. I feel so bad. I just went on without
She is now. She is now. I can see her face, and it's like,
stop it.
I'm here.
Oh, she's down there. I see her. Oh, this whole time I'm like burning up because I'm like, I feel so bad that the girl who's been like more like Christine. And so this is the thing about, sorry to cut you off, Nicole. I just have to say this before I forget. Christine is coaching and she doesn't know she is. So I'm on Instagram with her and I'm like, oh my God, she posted the calendar. Oh my God, those are her weights. Oh, her Insta stories that she's on day 40. Like that's all you need to do. And you're doing it. So I was like so excited about that. I told my coach, I'm like, she doesn't even realize that she's doing it. Like, and it was so funny when Lauren was asking me about it. She's like, what do you mean your team? Like, what do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean your team's team? Like, but yeah. Okay, go on, Nicole.
No, I was just going to say, Christine, I mean, I think I've been doing challenge groups that she's been in and out, and we've both been in challenge groups together for like, I don't know, like 8 months to a year. And it's so great to like, you know, see her face. And I think when being on my side of it, already having said yes to coaching and listening to this, I think that it can seem kind of like, oh, you know, like this joyous, bubbly, you know, like, oh, come be best friends. But I started because I wanted a discount on my shakes. And the next thing you know, I'm surrounded in this virtual group by women like Megan and Christine that every single day inspire me. And I have a lot of bad days. But these people that are around me and that this group attracts, the next thing you know is that my bad days aren't that bad, you know? And so it just has changed my whole entire outlook. And I actually recently just got married in December, and I told Megan, look, I have to plan a wedding. I have to take a step back. I have to do all these things. And I took 2 months off. And during that 2 months, I was like, I miss my team. So I would encourage any of you guys that have any interest in doing it, just to try it, because I guarantee you're not going to be sorry and you're going to be stoked every day.
Yeah. And the other thing about it is like, this is terrible, but I'm the type of coach that needs to be tougher with my coaches. Like Nicole's like, take 2 months off. I'm like, take 5 months off, because like, I'm not good at managing like people. I'm good at managing, like I'm a teacher. Like I do well with kids and groups. But so the whole match your pace thing is true. But there have been times even in my life, like when I had Andrew and I was like, whoa, having 2 kids is so different than having 1. And there was this moment where I was like, what am I doing? Like it does take time. You know, I have to find these pockets of time that I don't seem to have. And then I thought, well, how would my life be different if I wasn't a coach? And I already wake up. I already love to work out. I'm addicted to the endorphins, which is like the best addiction to have in the world. I would be like there. It would be a full-on loss for me. And especially when all I'm doing is just sharing that and then having all these people write to me. I had a girl write to me today, and she said, I don't know what's happened since I started eating cleaner. Even my handwriting is better, she said. Like, could this be true that my handwriting is better? I feel more clear-headed. But I hear it every day. And when you hear that every day, there's the drive to keep going for yourself and for your family. It's like, it really is, it's a momentum-based thing. But I know what Nicole is talking about because I felt the same way when I was sort of, after Andrew making my comeback. But it means so much to me that all of you were on this call. I don't do these calls that often because I'm much better at, I'm much more into finding challengers than I am finding coaches. But I'm at a point now with this where I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do this, then I want a team of people, to do it with. And I'm so happy that every single one of you is here. And if you have any questions or you think of anything later, just let me know, and I will be here. And Christine, did you get on really late?
No, she got on like 5 minutes. I saw her pop on like 5 minutes after.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have technical issues. I guess I'm tired.
No, it's totally fine. And
Wait, you can't do these from a phone? I tried like 10 times on my phone.
I've called into them before. There's a number you can use them for. It was so funny because 5 minutes before this, Ryan goes, well, why don't you use Google Hangouts? And I'm like, why didn't you tell me I could use Google? But
I didn't know that my laptop had a camera.
Well, you were so funny because you came on and you're like, we're like, there's Lauren. Lauren, you didn't know that we could see you, and you're like,
oh God, really?
But honestly, this is what when we first started doing the team calls for Faithfully Fit, they were at 9:00 every other Wednesday, and I was like, how am I ever going to stay awake for these calls? But I did because they were so funny. Like, one woman would come on with her wine from like,
oh, that was the best.
Yeah, and then we would all just start giggling at the end of them, and so now they do them at different times of day. But like I said, they're always there. And if you do become a coach, it's sort of like, so you're basically added to the Faithfully Fit team page, which is my coach's page. And that's where you would get like all the information on those trainings and everything. And I know, Christine, you have like a big summer ahead, so it's super exciting, but your motivation is so, your presence in that group has been awesome.
Megan, I feel like I rely on it. It's kind of like my daily thing. And like, I love talking to everyone. Everyone's so inspiring. So to me, it's like one of my favorite parts of the day.
Yeah. And then when you said that to Nicole the other day, like, and that's so funny too, like having these virtual connections and people knowing who everyone is. And, but I mean, when Nicole got out of the car, first of all, were we roommates that year? No, we weren't, but we had like a love affair.
It was at Diamond Retreat. Yeah. I show up in your state and we get out of the car. We're like,
I'm like, like you're really
it was seriously like a friend, like online, like a Match.com date or something for friends.
Yeah. And then
oh my gosh, you look the same in person.
Yeah. And then that weekend was my dad's birthday, so she came to dinner with my mom and dad and like stayed in our house for a night. And Ryan kept saying to me, she's just gonna come stay with us? You've never even met her. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. I see her every week. We talk every day.
So funny.
So yeah. But everyone should go to bed. It's 9:40. Does anyone have any questions while I'm here, or do you feel good about what you learned?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do you, so if we're already considered coaches, how do I go in and utilize that? Like, I haven't ordered my shakes or anything.
Okay. So you had a challenge pack originally, right? Like, you don't get shakes on auto ship.
I did, and then I had a credit card.
Okay, so if you were to order now, it would just be 25% off of anything.
Do I have like an account I have to sign in?
Yeah, so you would just log into Team Beachbody with your original email. You might have forgotten your password. You can just say you forgot your password. Okay. And then once you're a coach, you have a back office. And I can show you around that if you like start selling. But basically, that would say like, that lists all my customers. I can see who gets Shakeology every month. And that's the other thing is if you have someone sign up for a challenge pack, so say that's typically around $40 to $50 to $60, depending on how much the challenge pack is. But then most of the people drink Shakeology for a while. There's some kind of average on how long. But I even have people that when I told them I was Beachbody coach, they were like, oh, I already drink Shakeology. Can I just make you my coach? And you could do that. And then every month you get 25% of that Shakeology. So a lot of the income that I make is just people continuing to drink their shakes, which is like, that's the best kind of income to make. But yeah, there's a Beachbody back office. So once you're in Team Beachbody, you'll see it will say like coach back office, and you can click on that and see everything once if you ever started to sell. And I could train you on that really easily.
All right. So also that little box that we got, it was like a little book.
Yes. Yeah.
Are there videos and stuff attached to that we watched?
No, it's so funny. And I felt the same way when I got that little book. I'm like, this is it? This is it? So that's the thing about Beachbody is you kind of like fall into the arms of who is, I hate to say above, but like your coach and your coach's coach. And that's why I felt so lucky when I had Tracy, because the minute I signed up, she was like, all right, she has an academy. She's like, she made this school called Faithfully Fit Academy where like she teaches you how to do your first CTA. And a lot of that is like figuring out, like she always says, who's your avatar? Like, who do you want to be around you? Who are you attracting? And so like right now I'm attracting a ton of new moms. Christine's probably going to attract more younger, like getting ready for weddings, that type of age group, so it really depends on who you are. But that whole training that Tracy does, which if you're on my team, you have access to anything on her team. So I would get you right up and running. I'm actually meeting with her tomorrow morning just to do like an onboarding meeting for coaches. Because really the biggest thing about when you sign up as a coach is usually if you start off well, you keep that momentum. I'm not saying there aren't people that sign up and say, I'm going to wait a few months and see, but it's kind of like, you got to just do it. And that academy it's so funny that it's called an academy, but that's really what she called it. Will prepare you for that. When I started, it was called like coach training. And when I say academy, it's like an online, it's like a Facebook group that she posts different things in, and you're getting it as it comes. I'm not sure how do you know, Nicole, how the Faithfully Fit Academy is presented? Is it in a group?
It's actually self-paced. I have not done it because she created it after Megan and after I started coaching. So you had been coaching a while, but it's self-paced. You can actually take it at your own. So like if you want to do it at night or, anytime you want to do it,
yeah. And the biggest questions, a lot of people would say to me, well, how do you know all the programs? I don't. I still haven't done them all. I started with 21 Day Fix, which is I would say 98% of my people, that's what they do. I have like Christine doing 80 Day Obsession, Nicole, and a few others, but that's like really a comfortable starting place for a lot of people. And so I would recommend doing a round of that, and you can even do it as you go. But because you're going to get questions like, what weights do I need? How does this feel? How does this look? And the best part is on the, Beachbody On Demand, having all the access to the calendars and the nutrition plans. So now, like in the past, when I first started Beachbody, it was like you bought 21 Day Fix, you're done. You move on to the next program. You have to buy something else. So I was like constantly hitting up the same people, and they were like, wait, I have to buy something else? So the Beachbody On Demand is great because, I can go on and look up the eating plan for PIO or what have you and go from there. But you feel much better prepared, I'd say, when you just kind of like jump in and you're like, I'm doing this with everyone else. And the other thing is, if you do start selling and you have challengers that are like, I want in, you can put those challengers in the group that I have, and I can be like your point person. You can post a day if you want, but you don't have to. So I'll let you, do it however you want. When I first started coaching, I love it.
You know what it is?
What is it?
The
Brazilian butt.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
90.
That is so awesome. See, that's like, you're an OG. You're an original gangster because that is.
That's one of the greatest parts about what I like about it is the fact that it's it's all inclusive.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, once you pay for that year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is, we had a coach the other day who posted a video, and I need to post the exact same video because she was like, she's a mother of 2 boys, and she was like, so tonight I went to an Orange Theory class. Love Orange Theory, Lauren. I really do. But she was like, hold on, I have to plug in my computer.
Oh, I thought that was mine.
I thought it was mine. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm so
Jack
shy.
unplugged that before. But she was like, so I spent, so she had to get a babysitter. So she's like, so I spent this much on my babysitter. I spent this much at my Orange Theory class. I had my travel time. And she's like, but most importantly, I couldn't put my kids to bed tonight. And I was like, you know, that is so true. And that's the thing is, I never, ever thought that you could work out hard in your house, ever. I was like the cardio queen. I was running, cross country in college. I was, in my early 20s at the gym I've always liked working out. I would be at the gym for like an hour doing straight cardio, seeing no results, chubby, basically. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? And then I picked up a pair of weights and I was like, oh, and then I got sore from like working out in my living room. I was like, oh, so yeah, it's pretty amazing. And you'll have a lot of people say to you, I have a lot of people be like, I don't work out at home. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then like a year later, they come back and they're like, okay, you're still working out in your house. How does this work? But you're totally right. It is all inclusive. And, if you wake up and you're like, I need a yoga day, or I want to do, we all did like Insanity Max 30 last summer, which was so much fun. We're all getting on Voxer being like, oh, I'm so sore. I can't even walk up my stairs. And just like having that challenge. We
It's
had
also good, like I had one of my kids home sick all week, so I couldn't go to the gym.
yeah.
My DVDs, and like in 2 weeks, my husband's going away. I won't be able to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So it's nice I never thought I would ever work out at home. It's really nice to have.
So nice to have.
More sore for my DVDs than when I go to the gym.
Right. It's amazing. And then just having like the tools with the nutrition, like we always talk about as coaches that it's like balance. Like we were in New Orleans, like drinking margaritas and eating chips. And all my friends are like, what do you do on a Beachbody trip? Do you eat carrots? And like, I'm like, no, it's more fun than anyone, but we know.
You're like, beignets.
Yeah. And like Christine, when you were saying that you like went out and had a blast, like I think that's so important. But then you said how you felt after. I was the same way. I went out on Saturday and like my recovery time, because your body gets so certain.
Yeah.
And then but then like having the tools to go back to that is just amazing. And when you're helping other people do it, it becomes even easier to do for yourself. So yeah. And I know, Carolyn, that was such a good question about like the videos and stuff, because you just sort of start coaching and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And when I tell you, I have my coach on Voxer, and every night I'd be like, Tracy, I had 22 people. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, they're asking me questions about nuts in the blue container, and I'm like Googling them because I have no idea. So it's kind of just you learn as you go, but that's the best part. Anyone else have anything? Lauren, you look so cozy.
I know. So tired. Sorry.
No, I'm so
such a night owl. Like I'm usually up till 1 or 2, but I've had a rough couple of days.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited. And I will touch base with all of you over the weekend. And Nicole, thank you so much for being here. You're the best coach and friend.
And now I'm going to be texting you at 5:30 a.m. So
Time zone, Nicole?
No, I'm in Ohio. I'm on the same.
Oh,
I'm starting a new wake up time of 5:30 a.m. and it's been pretty brutal. I'm like 50-50 for failure and success.
Yeah.
Do you know what like my trick is? That I sleep in my workout clothes. If I'm doing a 5:30 class, I always sleep in my pants.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
Pajama pants in the morning and putting on leggings is like,
yeah.
Here's the other thing about it. Once you start doing it, I was saying that to Nicole, you can't stop. I'm like I can't even sleep in on the weekends because it sucks any other time of the day. I'm like, oh, really? Like I still have to work out?
It's really hard to save it for night.
really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just I laugh. I tell Megan, I'm like, I do actually have stepkids now, but they're not always with us. So like this morning when it was raining outside and it's 5:30 and my husband's all cuddly in bed and I don't have an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5. So I make my own schedule. So I was like, it was hard. I was an hour late. So tomorrow morning I will be up at 5:30.
Yes.
And thank you. Everybody's encouraging me. So,
Christine, what you posted about too the other day about like balance and families and stuff. There are nights where Ryan's like, Beachbody, nah, like, he can't hear another thing because I'm so excited. I'm like, guess what? Like, I talked to this person. This person wasn't even in my group because that happens all the time. Like, I'll have a challenger from a year ago that I don't hear from, and then they'll email me being like, guess what? I'm on my 3rd round, and I lost 11 pounds, and I feel so awesome. And I go to tell him, and he's like, but he also knows now that that's what I need to function at my best. Like, my time, he would not want to see me on a day or a few days where I don't work out. Like, now he knows that that's what I need, and I know what he needs, and that's like that's how we function, because I'm like, okay, he needs to read. Honestly, that's what he does. He reads. I know it's so dorky, but that's what he does. So I'm like, you can go read and I'll go work out. And when we go on vacation, it's like, I'll watch the kids while you read and I'll go work out. So like, you have to find that balance because that is so important. And I'm glad that you mentioned that in the group because there was a good response from that.
When I took my time off, Megan, Joey literally was like, you need to go back to your beach body.
Saying that, yeah.
I'm like, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to sleep because I'm so happy that you guys were all here. And so
thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And have the best weekend. And thank you all so much for being here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
How do we end?
Stay here forever. You just go to stop.
Oh, I'll see you on Sunday.
Yes, I can't wait.
Me too.
Okay. Bye.